First person I thought of when Dr. Jerry Buss passed away was Jerry West, because Jerry was there, and he was the one who was he was employed to pull off these deals, to bring in these names. If it was Kobe, if it was Shaq, to make those moves, to make this team a winner. And what I loved about Dr. Buss was he wanted to win, that he expected to win, and he believed in star power. And we're kind enough to have the logo Jerry West joining us now, Laker Hall of Famer, former Laker GM. Jerry, how you feeling today?
Well, Dan, I think for me it's kind of a sad day. I think when you reflect back on his life and my association with him, you do start to, I think, look at yourself a little bit differently, because you realize that people have really made a difference in your life, and more importantly, I think the difference in the life of lives of a lot of people in Los Angeles is no longer here with us. He was really a very unique man. I think in all sports today, and particularly today, there's so much self-publication and self-promotion that goes on, not only with players, with owners, but he was one of those really unique owners that had a common appeal to everyone. His humility, with all the success he had, was second to none, and obviously the person he loved most as a player was Irvin Johnson, and he never, with all the great players he had here, that was his favorite. And I know it's a real sad day for Irvin, and more importantly, for him, he lost a great friend, as we all did.
But when you're working for him, you understood you were getting the right player. If it was Kobe and it was getting rid of Vlade Divac, or drafting Magic Johnson, or the big deal that got Shaquille O'Neal to Los Angeles. What was the feeling like as the general manager, the architect here, trying to build or rebuild or reload every year?
Well, we faced a number of crises out here during his time in ownership, and obviously, the biggest one was when Irvin announced that he was HIV positive. He was very cool and very calm, and during the whole process of everyone just being shocked, and more importantly, losing an iconic player like that for health reasons, when he was, had probably 3 or 4 more great years left in him. But he never wavered in his desire to have a winner, and he was encouraging, supportive. I probably got to know him a little bit better than most people because we spent a lot of intimate time together during those periods. He loved to walk. He loved Hawaii, and we had training camp over there a lot. And Dan, we used to walk and talk about his vision and what he wanted for the Lakers, and he made that very clear from day one to every one of us who worked with him exactly what he wanted to see. He changed the landscape of all sports, and I think I now, after one person says it, I've said it years ago, that he was a visionary. And when he went to Laker games, he said one thing to me. He said, "I want this place not to be only about basketball, but I want to try to change the nature of this of sports to where it's entertainment." Now, he did that himself. No one did that. That's what he wanted, and he got it because of his desire, and he knew exactly what he wanted to. He was fair. I don't think we ever had a player complain about being underpaid here. He was just great with people.
But he understood star power, though, too. Not necessarily the players themselves, but those who are watching the players as well.
Well, that's why I say he changed the landscape. He had a lot of friends. He'd like to hang out with all kind of people. And in the process, the Lakers became kind of the place to be seen. And if you look at the games now, sitting around the sidelines, Laker fans have been there for a year. Jack Nicholson, of course, the most famous one of those. But they're true fans. I mean, he's a true fan. And when I have watched his transformation to when he bought the team to where he is today, where this team is today, it's remarkable to have one owner to have the success that he had.
Yeah, and I said, it's a short list of owners who may have had a bigger impact in all the sports. I think Dr. Jerry Buss, what he did was transcendent. We're talking to Jerry West, the Lakers Hall of Famer. Can you take us behind the scenes when you were bringing Shaquille O'Neal in? Dr. Jerry Buss, what his role was or what his conversation with you was to get Shaquille O'Neal to Los Angeles?
Well, at that point in time, there was a lockout, and you really couldn't have any personal contact with players except after a period of time. And I never really known Shaquille, but he and I started talking almost on a daily basis. We kind of became friends over the phone, and I told him why I thought it was important for him to come to Los Angeles. That the thing he most coveted, he wanted to win some championships. And developed a speaking relationship with him and a friendship relationship just over the phone. And, of course, we were all, had our hopes high that maybe we would be able to acquire him. But in the process, there's other people that you talk to, but I talked to Jerry almost on a daily basis, 2 or 3 times, about if we don't get him, what's our next direction? And we had other directions we could have gone into, but it certainly wasn't a player of his caliber. And during that period of time, he remained calm, and I know that he wanted me to come over to Hawaii. He was over there on vacation. He wanted me to come over there, and I spent 2 days with him over there, and we were talking about this, and he just said, "Hey, look, let's keep going." He said, if we're going to if we're in this far, we might as well keep going. And we were fortunate enough to find a way to get him. And I think without his encouragement, I'm not so sure it wouldn't have lessened anyone's desire to go forward and thinking that you're going to lose someone his caliber.
Did Anthony Peeler, for some reason, Anthony Peeler's name is in my mind about the Shaquille O'Neal deal. What role did
That's correct.
Did Anthony Peeler get cut because
No, he did not. Dan, we traded Anthony and George Lynch to Vancouver, and that made us possible.
Okay.
That made it possible. And what was so ironic about that is eventually, I went to work for the Grizzlies, who were the Vancouver franchise at that time, and I'm thinking to myself, my gosh, looking in hindsight, it was it's pretty strange to go to work for someone when you helped acquire a player that was what I call one of those unique players that doesn't come around very often, and a real game changer for any franchise to have someone like him.
But if
along the way, we were fortunate enough to get Kobe Bryant in a trade which helped us clear more money off the salary cap to sign Shaquille.
Bigger move for you personally, getting Shaq or getting Kobe and trading Vlade?
Well, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I don't know how many people know about Vlade Divac personally. He's one of the nicest, most gentle, kind men ever, and he was a heck of a basketball player. Just because he didn't run it up and down the floor and dunk and everything, this guy was really a good player and a great teammate, just a unique person. And trading him was difficult, and particularly when you're trading someone of his caliber, starting center, for a 17-year-old kid who couldn't even sign a contract. But we were lucky because I had a great of being able to get him way down the draft list. And Charlotte got a very good player in Vlade Divac, and they played well with him. But, we got, at the end of the day, we got the prize that we wanted. I thought he was the best player in the draft. I think most of the people who saw him work out felt the same way. But we got really lucky, and that's what sometimes you need when you're working for sports teams. And particularly today, it's a lot more complex, a lot more teams, a lot more competition, a lot more about money. And we always seem to be able to be in the right place, the right time to acquire players that help make a difference for us. And I think it really was because of his tenacity and wanting to have the very best for the fans of Los Angeles. And again, we had a very small staff then, really a close working staff. And we had Bill Sharman there. Mitch Kupchak had just come on because of, he had to retire because of his a very serious knee injury. And we had a very small staff there working together, and it was fun to be part of that. And also for me, it was very special because he allowed me to have a life after basketball that most players don't get an opportunity to ever have.
Well, I know it's a tough week for you. We do appreciate you coming on, and thank you again, Jerry.
Thank you, Dan. Really nice talking to you.
All right. That's Jerry West, Lakers Hall of Famer.